Ang pinaka-best-selling na budget phone ni Tecno meron ng third iteration. And this is the Tecno Spark Go Part 3. Sobrang mura na itong phone na ito. And I know it's always below 5,000 pesos itong phone na ito. And pretty much functional naman ang first and second generation niya. Alamin natin in this video kung kamusta lang ka ng third iteration. Is it better than first and second? Is it even worth buying ngayon? Pag-usapan natin after this quick intro. So if naalala ko tama, the Spark Go 2 has a orange na box and parang blue yung print. Parang binaliktad na, ginawa ng New York Knicks. Blue and orange yung print. Pretty nice na. Maganda naman ka ng combination ng colors. Buksan na natin. Dito pa lang sa box, nakita natin 120Hz, tapos drop resistant pa. Below 5K. Check natin. Out of the box, you get the phone. And buksan natin, see the other things. Warranty card niya na 12+1. SIM ejector tool. User guide. Type A to Type C cable, 10 watts na charging brick out of the box, and isang jelly case. Uy! Color purple. One of my favorite colors. Sturdy naman. Hindi siya yung lampa. So you'll see all of these text here. Kung gusto nyo basahin, post din na lang. Mahubutin ko na yung phone. Yo! Ganda ka ng color, ah. So itong Tecno Spark Go 3, meron siya dalawang variant. 4 plus 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage is priced at 4,499. And if you have 4 plus 4 gigs of RAM plus 120 gigs of storage is priced at 4,999. Wala pa ako balita ko, meron sa early bird promo. So just click the link on the description para makita ninyo yung mga updated na promos. Or just simply click yung YouTube shopping link dyan para dumiretso kayo sa official store ng Tecno para makita niyo kung meron mga kasamang vouchers or discount coupons. Just use yung mga official links na binibigay natin para iwas tayo scam. Now, one of the biggest highlight dito sa kanya is, for me, probably you can then decide. It looks a lot like the iPhone 17 Pro Max, kita mo? Parang yun na, except the shadow lang siya. Hindi siya na umbok, pero medyo hawig siya. Pero siguro maybe let's just say more of a Poco design. Pero yung kanyang camera module, eksakto kamukha ng iPhone 17 pag ipagtabi mo. Meron siyang side-mounted fingerprint scanner, meron pa siyang audio jack dito sa ilalim, and meron din siyang IR na most likely nakatago dito. Ang remote control. Feel factor, okay naman siya sa akin. Feel ko, pwede ko bigyan ng 7 out of 10 yung kanya feel. Except siguro medyo plasticky nga talagang kanya feeling. Well, I can't blame it kasi yung presyo niya is below 5K. And you'll still be getting a teardrop notch and a big thick bezel dito sa ilalim. Yun lang. And by the way guys, itong Tecno Spark Go 3 will come in 4 colors. Meron siyang purple, itong hawak natin. Meron siyang white, gray, and black. Kayo, anong trip niyo? Let me know in the comments. Kung ako tatanungin mo on everyday usage, okay, wala kang maging problema as light usage lang ang gagawin mo dito sa kanya. Yung mga apps na hindi heavy. Like Messenger, TikTok, Instagram, or using your phone call, text messaging, yun yung mga light application. Probably things na hindi mo magagawa dito is to do video editing, probably light photo edit, kaya naman nito. Pagdating sa gaming, malalaman natin later, we cannot play mga AAA games, definitely.
Come on now, dog.
Pero nakagamit ako ng Google Gemini dito and ChatGPT without any problem. And probably tatanungin mo sa akin kung anong processor gamit ni Tecno dito sa Spark Go 3. This one is being powered by the Unisoc na T7250. It's a 12nm chip and very budget-friendly na chip. So huwag kayong mag-expect ng too much pagdating sa heavy application. And it got me a 364,000 points dito sa Antutu benchmark. And kung gusto mo makita ibang benchmark, ito pakita ko muna sa inyo. Now, one good thing naman kahit medyo budget phone ito, meron siyang Tecno AI na kasama dito sa loob. Meaning, there are some AI function dito sa loob. Dahil lang ng assistant na si Ella, magagamit mo siya dito, walang problema. And meron siya document assistant na makakatulong sa iyo pag nagtatype ka naman documents. And meron siya free link na kasama na can let you transfer files to and from a Tecno phone, parang airdrop lang. Now, pagdating sa battery, hindi naman wow itong kanyang battery. Dahil it's just a 5,000 mAh. Don't expect too much. At least hindi na binaba sa 4,500, di ba? But nevertheless, 5,000 is still a industry standard. For me, it's still okay. And it supports 15-watt charger except that yung kanyang charging brick na kasama is just a 10-watts charger. You can use yung mga charging brick na like Anchor and Ugreen para mas mabilis konti ang iyong charging speed. Now, on day-to-day usage, this phone can last you through a whole day without any problem. Matipid naman si Unisoc na T7250, hindi mo siya matakot sa battery. Or in fact, it can even last you for a day and a half. Based sa akin usage siya on normal average usage. Kasi bawat isang tao, iba-ibang usage pattern. So, hindi tayo pare-pareho. Now, kung gusto mo makita full spec sheet ng Tecno Spark Go 3, pakita sa inyo. Now, in terms of display, 6.75-inch ang kanyang display na IPS LCD. Hindi siya AMOLED display dahil sobrang budget-friendly na siya. Probably one thing na hindi ko trip is yung kanyang teardrop notch, pero I ain't complaining kasi sobrang budget-friendly siya. And it got a 120Hz of screen refresh rate. Pero limited lang ang mga application na pwedeng mamil 120Hz dito. Take note. Now, if you're browsing on socials, wala kang mga problema dito. Well, honestly, nung ginagamit ko ang Globe dito sa labas, nung medyo bad ang signal, medyo mabagal mag-load ng mga videos while on TikTok and sa YouTube, mga shorts. Pero once you get a hang of good internet connection, mabilis na ang browsing speed dito. So, pag switch mo, mag-load na siya agad. Halos meron ng 1 second delay. Yun lang napansin ko sa kanya. Now, if you're watching your favorite shows dito sa YouTube, sa Netflix, wala kang maging problema, except that you can only watch up to 720p. That's probably one of the limitation na meron dito sa phone na ito. Pero overall yung kanyang display, not bad. So, since itong phone na ito has only one loud firing speaker dito sa ibabaw, and yung nasa ilalim si audio jack, just quickly test kung kamusta kanyang sounds. Well, yung kanyang sounds, medyo cute. Hindi siya gano'ng kalakasan kasi of course it's cut into half compared sa ibang mga phones. So, I would prefer using the headphone jack dito kung meron kayo pa rin mga wired na headset for better sound experience. Now, naglaro ako ng dalawang game dito on this phone. Kahit papaano, Call of Duty Mobile, Honor of Kings. Now, medyo slower mag-load itong dalawang games nito compared to other phones na ginagamit natin. Of course, still blame it. P7250, budget-friendly. So, kung nilalaro ko ito dalawang game na ito, I put it to the lowest graphical settings na ino-offer niya para hindi tayo mahirapan maglaro. Now, pagdating sa Call of Duty Mobile at the first 15 minutes, okay. Quite smooth naman, wala akong napansin. Pero as tumatagal ang gaming ko, pansin ko pag medyo nag-heavy na yung battle, medyo nagkakaroon siya ng lag and frame drops. So, hindi mo maiwasan on a phone like this na magkakaroon ka talaga ng, well, a little bit bad experience, no? And with those delays, when it ends up na namamatay ka, in that split second na na-delay ka on that screen. But overall, it's still playable. Okay naman ka ng touch response. The sound is just mediocre. You still get through the game without any problem. That I can guarantee. And pinakamainit na inabot ko is just 39 degrees Celsius sa Call of Duty Mobile. Pagdating sa Honor of Kings, medyo mas better ang experience ko dito. Mas hindi ko na-feel yung frame drops and lags na na-feel ko sa Call of Duty Mobile. Touch response is better. Or I would say na halos at par. Wala ko na-feel na problems kanya. Sounds is still mediocre. Better use your favorite headphones kung gusto mo. Overall gameplay, I would say that this one is better than Call of Duty Mobile and it's much more playable and wala kang mafe-feel talaga na delays masyado. None that I remembered of kasi naglaro halos sa 30 minutes dito ng rank match. I would say na okay lang naman siya. And inabot lang ako na just 30 degrees Celsius after 30 minutes of gameplay on room temp. Napag-usapan natin quickly ng camera performance. Ang kanyang rear camera is 13MP, may kasama siya AI na flash snap, and ang kanyang harap is 8MP na selfie camera. Both can shoot you up to 2K and 30fps na video. Now, on outdoor photos, mapapansin ko mga photos dito is a little bit overexposed. Pansin ko, medyo mas maputi siya compared sa mga ibang phones at this price point. Pero nevertheless, it can get you some good snaps naman dito sa kanya. Except na medyo mas maputi lang siya. But there are times na siguro effect lang siya ng ilaw. Kasi there are times na like this one, matino naman ang kuha ko. On some flower shot are pretty nice and solid naman. Wala akong nakitang problem except na kaya na color hindi lang ganun kagandang tingnan. Details-wise, pagdating sa mga alambre na ito, kitang-kita naman. Well, honestly, wala akong naging problema dito sa kanya. And pati mga colored na flower shot is okay. Yung kanang purple is okay. Yung kanang pink is a little bit namumuti kunti based sa akin observation. Now, if you go indoor taking some subject snaps, okay din siya. Was able to focus quickly. Wala akong naging problema. And there are times na pagdating sa low light, medyo hindi lang ganong kaliwanag ang mga capture ko. In contrary sa mga outdoor shots ko. But there are times na it can give you some pretty nice and solid snaps naman dito. And yeah, I don't expect too much from a phone at this price point. Taking outdoor shots na may signages, okay lang naman. And pag tiniting naman blue sky dito, halos wala ka na makitang details ng cloud. If you're trying to take some food shot, okay lang naman siya. Medyo mas pale lang siya compared sa ibang phone. In short, hindi siya ganun kaganda pagdating sa food photography. Pero one surprising thing na gusto ko dito sa kanya is mga outdoor selfie na nakuha ko dito. Well, pretty nice, solid. I was surprised for a phone at this price point was able to get me some good snaps pagdating sa outdoor. And pagdating naman sa indoor, well, expected na medyo mas magiging softer compared sa outdoor and it justified the price point. Ito video na nakuha ko using yung front-facing camera, 2K and 30. Front-facing camera, 2K 30 recording. Not bad for a sub 4K na phone. I'd say na parang nag-improve siya over sa Go 2. Sa mga Go 2 users, comment kayo. And ito naman nakuha ko from the rear camera. Ito naman ang kanyang rear camera, shooting also at 2K and 30. Well, medyo shaky. Parang mas shakier ito than yung sa harap. Pero video quality is not bad, also at 2K and 30 FPS. Now guys, if phone at this price point, murang-mura, I would say na pretty solid naman ka ng performance. Though we see a price increase over from the Tecno Spark Go 2, it's just the effect ng pagtaas ng RAM, ng ROM, and probably ng processor. And I did feel some upgrade dito on this phone compared sa Spark Go 2, and it's quite evident lalo sa mga AI features niya. And yung kanyang camera performance is a little bit better than the last generation. Plus, meron tong drop resistance na wala ng Spark Go 2. So guys, are you excited dito sa Spark Go 3? And if you have any question, let me know in the comment section below. And kung gusto nyo malaman kung saan nyo pwede mabili ito, I'll post the link on the description box below, or just simply click the YouTube subbing link. And kung meron kayong friends na below 5,000 pesos ang budget niya and how to sell a smartphone, feel free to recommend this video to them. And of course, I-encourage you to like, subscribe dito sa aking channel so you don't miss out on mga review kahit budget phone just like this one. So paano, hanggang dito muna ako. I'll see you on my next video. Peace out. And so, ako para si Richmond and you're watching Gadget Sidekick. Like and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. For one of my latest uploads, click the dito. And for one of my popular uploads, click here.